2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Please welcome to the field the greatest band in Central Florida, the Eau Gallie High School Marching Commodores. They will be presenting selections from their 2024 program in Michigan. They are under the direction of band director Anthony Atkins, percussion director Dan Pedrosa, color guard director Caleb Small, their principal is Keith Martin.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Drum makers are Shelby Bond, Kevin Bureau, Rachel Hart,
Check 1. Check 1 2, 1 2.
Drum makers, is your band ready? We are good. High school, you now begin your show.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Doesn't even... killed the feed, but we have the second feed going now. Did I kill the first? I did kill the first feed. Sorry. I'm not used to this part. Any extra drinks in there? Thank you.
Eau Gallie High School Marching Commodores.
I'll tell you what, man. Merritt Island, Enterprise Box. First of all, it's huge. It's an old container. They have craft services up there every day.
You know, when I was in, I didn't do high school much.
Yeah. Were you there in the old Matt section? Matt section, radio. He's now head of media up there now. Who was that? That section started with him. Okay. I think he was just leaving that.
I was a radio guy. Radio guy, and they started making radio stuff. High school on Friday.
All right, back live here. Coming out of halftime, you got to see the fans play what high school football is all about. Ron Lighthall beside Daryl Double D Duran up here in the press box here of Eau Gallie. So, Daryl, what can we say about the first half that we haven't already said? We're coming back to you with a new reset here with the cameras.
Yeah, you know, it's two defenses battling it out tonight here at Commodore Stadium. And the Commodore offense line has to make adjustments to that fierce Daytona Beach Mainland defensive line who is just getting through with, like, no problem at all. You know, we talk about a little bit what Eau Gallie, you know, needs to start off the season with. You know, they need to start off the season. Expectations are very high coming off of their district championship. They got to set the tone. I think they have set the tone tonight on defense. Offense, they really have not set the tone so far. You know, one issue that the Commodores must do is clean up the penalties. Their pre-snap and most whistle penalties must simply stop. And, you know, we haven't really seen a lot of penalties tonight. You know, there's been a few, not, you know, atrocious amount. So that's a
just
plus.
Just a couple, yeah.
That's a plus. You know, the penalties did cost them in the regional semifinals last year. So if they can clean that up, you know, get through the gauntlet of a season that we went over, you know, they're going to have Vero Beach here next week, and there is the kick. Taking it about the 6-yard line. And wrapped up by a good special teams there by the Eau Gallie Commodores.
So coming out, just like they ended the first half, they're going to have Daytona Mainland having to earn every single inch on the field. But you can see at the scoreboard there at the bottom, boy, that is indicative of some great defensive gameplay here today by both of these teams. When you have the only score being a safety defensively by Daytona Mainland, and, you know, the rest has just been trench work.
Mainland right up the middle again. Wrapped up by Brandon Brown.
I want to thank everybody for switching over with us. Of course, we are working out some preseason jitters. We have been able to secure the internet access here and bringing you a little bit more dynamic second half here. Again, wrapped up line of scrimmage or a big tackle again.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 9 coming up for Daytona Beach Mainland. And they're going to swing it out.
Swing out, incomplete.
Great coverage there by Eau Gallie. Cousins over there on the coverage for Eau Gallie.
Don't worry about the point. Don't worry about blocking the point. Hold up the guy from there.
Forcing that punt here.
Mainland going to punt the ball. Block punt by Eau Gallie. And it's going to be almost to where a first down marker would be, so maybe about a 10-yard punt. Eau Gallie starts off the second half in great field position.
Again, you know, a game of defense. The Eau Gallie defense coming up big against Mainland, stifling them on the run game. And then the big special teams play there with getting a big paw on it and boy, Eau Gallie, opened their opening drive here in the second half is really giving them their best field position they've had all night.
Yes, best field position Eau Gallie's had all night, Ron. And now Allen, the transfer in from MCC at quarterback, still in the shotgun formation. Drops back, has a blocker out, looking for his man. He stops.
Oh, you're going to get that horse collar call. That's going to happen every time, boy.
Multiple flags in on the play. Penalty is going to go against the Buccaneers of Daytona, as the quarterback was trying to tuck it and go. And they will be inside the Riches Auto Tech red zone.
We talked about the penalties. This is a costly one for Daytona to open the second half with. You're putting them right in the shadows of the goalpost.
Yeah, at the 12-yard line of Daytona. First down and 10, Eau Gallie. Hands off tackle. He cuts it. And now he's inside the 10, about the 7-yard line. Eau Gallie's in the navy blue with the gold numbers. Mainland in the white unis with the gold hats. Second down and 5. Hands off.
Keeps it on the ground.
He's going to be down about the 5-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards. Going to bring up third down and about
third and 3, it looks like there.
Third and 3 for Eau Gallie. Eau Gallie trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. 9:24 to go here in the third quarter. Allen at the helm. Hands off one. Oh, that's a big explosion. But we have a penalty flag.
Tamaj Woodard for it looks like it's going to go against Eau Gallie. They're consulting on the other side of the field there. Let's see what the coach wants to do.
That was just a miss assignment, blocking assignment for Eau Gallie up the middle as they came with the blitz. So Eau Gallie is going to go for a field goal, and Eau Gallie has a good kicker that transferred in from Merritt Island.
Merritt Island with a history of great kickers. Going to spread that talent throughout the county. And it looks like they flagged the kicker off. Actually,
so different kicker.
Switch kickers.
Different kicker now into the ball game for Eau Gallie.
This number 40 going to make the attempt here, and he will put toe to leather on about the 13-yard line, but he's going to have to going to be about from the 18-yard line now.
Timeout Eau Gallie.
I got in there before that clock ran out, so they're not going to lose any field position. You can see Coach Sands there. You know, I tell you, the coaching and the atmosphere here has got all the makings, Daryl, of mid-season form. See Coach Sands there. He's going to address his kicking team.
This was a heck of a kickoff classic. I mean, just like we have a couple other great kickoff classics right now going. Palm Bay and Vieira are battling in the third quarter. And, you know, a new regime down there for the Palm Bay Pirates. Mitchell Brown now at the head coach. Mike DeGore helping out again for Palm Bay.
You know, and oddly enough, this kick is for the lead. Should it be good? They'll take that 1-point lead. And boy, the way both these teams been playing, man, I every single point is, precious. You're talking about every single point.
Eau Gallie's lined up for the field goal. And the kick's up. And good. As you hear the cannon sound in the background.
Daryl, what we saw was the 42 switch for 40, 42 back in to make the kick. So if we got names there on the roster.
42 Denmark. Jermaine Denmark, a freshman that makes the kick for Eau Gallie. Eau Gallie leads Daytona Mainland 3-2. Daytona Mainland, the defending champions in this classification.
And the cheerleaders are going to punch out those three.
Talk about Allen, who transferred in a little bit from MCC. He was second in the county last year with 2,100 yards, passing 29 touchdowns. Allen also stands 6'1" and weighs 200 pounds and has a half a dozen D1 offers to follow that. That was a heck of a job again by the Eau Gallie defense, getting the block, and special teams helping them out there. And their offense, they're running pretty good, but then they sent that blitz and just a misassignment on that offensive line killed the drive a little bit. And that kick's going to go out of the end zone, but really didn't kill the drive. They got the 3 points. They got the lead here at Commodore Stadium. And this is a statement right now.
It really is. Boy, you look at the scoreboard. In fact, I'm going to try to get this updated here for you.
Like to thank Ashley Westbrook Realty, Rich's Auto Tech, home of the Million Mile Warranty, and Natwick Insurance for sponsoring this broadcast here at Eau Gallie. Next week, you can find me and Ron at Melbourne High School as they take on Toho in the opening kickoff game of the 100th season.
Oh, batted down. Big number 8 got his paw in there for Eau Gallie.
Raymond Berry. Rashawn Berry, I'm sorry. Another senior on this defense.
Got that penetration, got those hands up, broke up the play. Brings up second down and 10 from the 20. And again, you can feel that energy and that momentum.
Shifting back to Eau Gallie. Ooh, big run there, but here comes Eau Gallie's secondary to finish him off there.
Credit to the big wheels there in the backfield coming out. Kept those wheels turning for Daytona Mainland, and Eau Gallie really had to struggle to minimize that gain of about 6. Going to bring up third down and 4.
Williams, the ball carrier there for Daytona. So third and 4.
Shout out to everybody that switched over on the broadcast. Thank you for finding us for the second half. We were able to reconnect and find those internet capabilities that we big run, first down for the Daytona Bucks.
Daytona Bucks number 4, Williams again, and you've seen that. He looked like he went after contact, which he could have just picked his head up and went for a touchdown in my eyes, but he wanted that contact, wanted to hurt somebody, and you can see Xavier Larice coming off.
Oh, wrapped up.
And we got a little bit of extracurricular activities down here on the Eau Gallie side.
Getting a little chippy. That's one of those double-edged things. You want to see the heart, the care, and the enthusiasm from your guys, but at the same time, you got to keep their composure, Daryl.
Oh, all day. Shotgun formation for Mainland. Play action over the middle. Nearly intercepted by Eau Gallie, tipped.
So caught me sleeping on the camera. I was making a quick adjustment and didn't even follow the play. But
so Eau Gallie's made some adjustments here at halftime.
So for this third down play.
3rd and 10 for Daytona. Three receivers up top for Mainland. They're going to throw the hitchback. And he's going to get out and going to force a fourth down in about 3.
What's a 4th and 3 play?
And there looks like they're going to come in the Wildcat, which they did in the first half, and got a first down on Eau Gallie.
That's a long play for the Wildcat. I mean, a 4-yard
at midfield, and they're going to try it.
Man, he gets it right up the middle. Boy, I'll tell you what, that beef up front for Daytona split the gap and got
a big push by Mainland there.
I tell you, Mainland's got some real Winn-Dixie product up front. I tell you what.
So first down and 10.
Official timeout for a water break. A strategic official timeout, because I'm going to tell you, they can feel the chippiness. They want to quell this. They want to give these teams a little bit of a breather and take that mandated water break. 5:49 remaining in the third quarter. We've got the scoreboard up and ready for you, so you can see it there on your screen. We overcame those technical difficulties, but I tell you, you got a game over in Satellite, as Coco has just taken the woodshed trip to Satellite there, and Coco has got the running clock at 57 zip.
(24-6) in the second quarter. Still, MCC Lake Brantley game. And Rockledge gets on the scoreboard down there in southwest Palm Bay. Billy Palmer and Coach Blue on that call.
So, Daryl, here we are. Game 1 for the 2024 high school season. We're at Eau Gallie as they play host to Daytona Mainland. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we can officially say across the country, people giving a shout out from Massachusetts. And, let's see. It's going to be a false start. They're going to go against Eau Gallie there, yeah. Boy, I tell you what, that charity yardage is something Eau Gallie's got to rein in. They gave them the 2-point charity points, and now they're giving them the charity yardage.
Yeah, they can't be giving them that. They're playing a great game. Handoff right up the middle. I think they're going to make up for it right there.
Thank you.
And we're going to have a flag.
Boy, right there at the bottom of your screen, you can see number 13 wrap up with an Eau Gallie player. That's going to be Houston Cadet.
You know, we said it was going to get chippy, and, we're going to start seeing them flags fly if it's, going to stay that way.
Yeah,
I know.
The extracurriculars.
Yeah, it's always going to get caught.
Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Number 1. Number 2, thank you to all of those who made the first half switch over. You can see a little bit different dynamic for the second half, including the scoreboard. We can post our sponsors. And
35-14 Vieira up on the Palm Bay Pirates.
Again, we want to thank you, and thank you for joining us. We want to thank our sponsors. You can see them there on screen for making tonight's broadcast possible, and bringing you the best with their
Will swing pass out, has the blockers to try to get downfield, and he breaks out. Fumble on the play.
And Daytona claiming they've got it on the far side.
Fumble looks like picked up by Daytona.
That'll be enough for a first down.
22-3, Titusville over Sebastian River in the fourth. Cocoa Beach 45-0 over Father Lopez in the third. And Cocoa Tigers all over the Satellite Scorpions tonight. We talked about Cocoa. They're rocked and loaded again. Drops back to pass, has pressure. Flags coming in. And caught by Daytona out of bounds. So we're going to probably have holding in the backfield on Mainland.
So that was easy. Boy, I tell you what, there wasn't a set of eyeballs in this entire stadium that didn't see that blatant hold. Boy, I tell you, when you come around the outside like that and get grabbed, boy, there's no denying that. So I'm going to bring up that graphic once again. Chris Sands, one of the longest tenured coaches here in Brevard County.
Getting the district title here last year.
And, a lot of big things. One of the sponsors we want to thank is Hooters. And, Daryl, you've got a little bit of news you want to share here. So at the next break, we want to show you some cool things that are going to be happening at the local Hooters in support of the traditional rivalry and the build-up to this historic game coming up between Eau Gallie and Melbourne.
Oh, yeah. And Mainland coming up to the ball. Shotgun formation, trips down here to the near side. Rolling out left. Trying to find a receiver. Finds one open in the flat. Stays in bounds. Knocked out of bounds by number 24. And that is Lugo for Eau Gallie. Going to bring up.
With that big gain, it's going to bring up second down and about six.
Yep. Second and 6 to go. I'd like to give a huge shout out to the Highland Mint for getting one of the jerseys done for the Hooters on Babcock Street. The Eau Gallie jersey is getting done as we speak. Mainland rolls out right. Holding in the backfield.
You're going to see that hold in the backfield again. They're going to get backed up again.
And Mainland's going to run out of bounds. Yeah, big things in the rivalry game coming up. I spoke with the principal, Keith Barton, here at Eau Gallie. Funny story, he's a former Bulldog, but got the promotion last year to be the principal over here at Eau Gallie. Great guy. But, this rivalry game between Melbourne and, Eau Gallie is going to happen on November 1st right here at Commodore Stadium. And that trophy that was built by Kilmer's Customs, like to thank them for doing that. And jersey framed by the Highland Mint. And the Eau Gallie jersey.
I'm going to put that jersey up one more time because the Eau Gallie one is in the works now. And again, having the Highland Mint right here. I mean, you talk about people that produce the actual Super Bowl coin.
Yeah,
and their great collectibles that they do. We will have some great coverage and work with them this year.
I talked with one of their employees I coach with, Garrett Snyder, and his dad, Darren Snyder's been there for years at the Highland Mint, and going to come up with a nice thing to Cornell High, their 100th year football season this year for homecoming game, and 1,000 game against Lyman is going to happen on the road. But this rivalry game, it's just a community coming together and making this great game just even better for the athletes of today. And I'd like to thank Kat McFarland and the Hooters crew at Babcock Street for always taking care of us.
So after the penalty walk-off, it's now 2nd and 15.
Mainland shotgun formation once again. Drops back. Eau Gallie's got pressure. Oh, he gets out of it. And he's down the sideline and runs out of bounds about the 18-yard line.
Boy, he had that seam right up the sideline.
Eau Gallie about had him in the backfield, and Mainland just breaks out with that huge run. And we got one down on the far side. Eau Gallie player looks like cramping.
We talked about Big Mo showing up. You get that swagger going, you start firing on all cylinders, and that's what we're seeing right now from Daytona.
And it's something new too that the NIL deal is now at the high school level here in Florida. Yes, they can't use certain things, but that
Daryl, that I'm so torn about that law. My knee-jerk reaction was being totally against it. But then when you find out that any monetization from their social media falls under what FHSAA and ultimately the governing bodies do in both high school and college, something had to be done to where you can't even talk about football on social media. So they had to kind of like modify it. And of course, I am horribly, broad brush painting the scope of what really legally happens. But that's something to consider when it comes to these young men in a different world. This is not just pay to play.
No, it's not. It helped some of the athletes out. As the Gallie player hobbling off, looks like he'd be all right. Looks like that was DJ number 2. So it's first down for Daytona Mainland at about the Eau Gallie 18-yard line.
4:34 remaining in the third.
3-2 ball game. Baseball score here, Kickoff Classic. I mean, when you bring in a state champ and you have a great defense in Eau Gallie, that they returned 10 starters from last season, so they only lost 1. I mean, this Eau Gallie defense can stop Daytona Mainland if this crowd gets behind them. Great crowd on hand for Eau Gallie.
I tell you, Daryl, you can see the softball field there in the background, and of course the great baseball success that Eau Gallie has had here at softball, and at these athletic facilities.
And it's a wildcat formation, and he gets through a couple tackles, but wrapped up after about a 5-yard gain. Another wildcat formation for Mainland. They got the blockers. Helmet flies off.
Somebody lost a lid. He'll have to sit out of play. That'll move the chains. It's going to bring up third down. They're going to be just short by about a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
3rd and 2, and they're going to stick with King, the ball carrier, in the backfield. That's what I can see from up here, number 1. And
you go with dance with the one who got you here, right?
It looks like they're going to come down low here and just busting it up the middle. Wow, bodies flying everywhere.
Just short of the goal line there. That'll be a fresh set of sticks
on the
1 yard line. But boy, that Wildcat has just proved to be an Achilles heel for Eau Gallie the last 5.
This game is turning out to be like a 3rd round playoff game or even a state championship game. I mean, these two teams are leaving it out there. Hopefully they have something left for the opening season next week.
Boy, you talk about being a one-trick pony, and you only need that one trick.
Fumble on the play. They're going to give it to Mainland.
All right, that's going to change their game plan here because
2:43 and counting.
You're going to see number 4 come back in. And
Williams.
That is Edward Williams. As Jameel Patrick takes a seat on the sideline. And they'll go back to this Wildcat formation. This will be a keeper, and he's going to get wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Oh, extracurricular going on there at the right.
Third and goal coming up for the Buccaneers. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better game here. You just want to get out of this game healthy.
A 1-point game with 2:05, 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. A 1-point game.
So 3rd and goal here. Wildcat formation once again, tight formation. Looks like they're going to go to the far side.
And up comes, oh, man. He's got to come out.
And that stings, a player with that much momentum
and they are forced to take a timeout
Yeah, I mean that could save them if they got the timeout before the ref called timeout.
I tell you what, man, a little nerves, a little up it came. It reminds me of the Any Given Sunday where Jamie Foxx up it came.
That or I think it's the Replacements when they had to shuffle when the dudes were coming up.
So he was making a Gatorade deposit on the field there.
Third and goal here. Get behind hometown Commodores here. If you're a Commodore fan, if you're watching from Daytona Beach,
that'll bring Jameel Patrick back in.
You're going to be rooting on your
that Wildcat, Daryl.
Buccaneers. They're going to go up top. A little holding there. He gets off the block, and that's going to back him up. And I think they're going to go out of this Wildcat as they're going to probably get a holding penalty here and back him up 10 yards.
I tell you, that happens when Eau Gallie's got that penetration. You get that desperate move from the defense. It's kind of a knee-jerk reaction is to go instantly for the hold, and that's just repetition. That's retraining your grappling.
Yeah, and that was a great job done by the young man out there playing on the edge of, ripping off the blocker, getting through the line. And, the ref sees that hand when it gets outside. If you we teach the offense linemen, try to keep your hands in tight. But if you don't, you're going to get caught, and you got caught right there.
And we've got replay third down stuck on a loop here.
So third down coming up from
third and
about
goal
the
from
20, 13, yep.
Hey, bro, the hell, the 112. Trip.
You're going to see a little more dynamic play here. They've got trips left. They got one to the right.
Quarterback comes back in the game for Daytona Beach. And now they're going to have a delay of game penalty, going to back them up 5 more yards.
Yep, they're going to take the delay
so now
of game.
It's going to be a third and a long to go for the Buccaneers. You're watching Brevard Sports Network live here at Commodore Stadium. Ron Lighthall, Daryl Duran here for you on the coverage. Billy Palmer and Coach Blue doing a fine job down there at the
Daryl and
Rockledge game.
Took a year off, back in the box.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
We're doing our Bulldog broadcast, bringing that back.
Trips down here, going to roll out left. He's got a blocker looking for the throw. Eau Gallie's going to converge on him, push him out of bounds at about the 10.
So it's going to be 4th and goal from the 10.
So it'll be a 27-yard field goal attempt here for Daytona Beach Mainland.
Good coverage in the backfield there by Eau Gallie. Couldn't find an open receiver, was forced to run.
Yeah,
Eau Gallie got that wedge and forced him out of bounds.
Great job there by Eau Gallie.
And they're going to bring their kicker on. So let's get this position here for a Mainland attempt.
A 27-yard field goal attempt for Daytona Beach. And they throw a flag in late.
Flag comes in, no good. running into the kicker.
They're going to say roughing the kicker. Daytona Beach gets another chance.
That's going to be a half the distance. Is that going to be an automatic first down, Daryl? Because that's we'll have to get this sorted out because, this could go in a number of directions. It could re-kick or it could be an automatic first down. It's going to go back to first down.
Yeah. It's first down 4.
Boy, this Kickoff Classic has really tested the
Lake Mary wins 6-1. They are 2-0 with Hawaii in the Little League World Series. Way to go, Florida.
I can't remember the last time we saw a Florida team.
No, that Lake Mary team, they're bad to the bone.
I'll tell you what, man, I was watching that kid out of Mexico throwing some BBs.
Wildcat.
Absolute smoke.
Has the blockers. Eau Gallie, big push there on that defensive line. Going to be 2nd and goal.
Second down.
I'd like to say hello to the Grand Electric crew watching the broadcast out on the island. We're in the third quarter, 3-2 with about 40 seconds to go.
Clock is running down inside 30 seconds.
Quarterback in, little handoff up the middle. Big tackle by that defensive line.
Short gain, going to bring up third down. Clock continues to run down to about
3rd and goal.
15 seconds.
Will they get it off, or will they be going to the south end zone and they're going to try to get it off? Handoff up the middle. He's going to be short.
Down, and that'll close out the
third quarter. So it's going to be 4th and goal Daytona when we go to the fourth quarter. Eau Gallie leads 3-2. I'd like to say hello to Michael Hamilton, all Hambone. Man, what a ball game we have here, Ron. The state defending champions, Daytona Mainland Bucaneers, and the Eau Gallie Commodores. If Eau Gallie would have got past Sebring last year, they would probably been facing Daytona Beach in the 3rd round or in the 4th round. So we get to see that matchup right now. Kickoff Classic here at the Commodore Stadium. Coach Eddie tuning in. Coach Eddie, how's Melbourne doing tonight? Can we get an update on the Bulldogs?
I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Fourth quarter, 4th and goal from about the 2.5-yard line. Here we go. They're probably going to come this way. They got the blockers to the near side. And they're going to get a stop. Eau Gallie stops them in the backfield. Big stop there by the Commodores.
Good job, D. Good job.
Eau Gallie still leads this contest 3-2 with 11:51 to go in the fourth quarter.
And I tell you what, every single one of those blue hats out there knows exactly what they need to do. They know their assignments. They have practiced for this right here. Got 11:51 in the fourth quarter.
Eau Gallie's got a battle out deep in their own territory.
Big stop by the defense. Going to go to the air, and they just can't make that connection. I tell you, that seemed to have a little bit of impatience to it. Needs to set himself, find his receiver, and make the throw. Seemed a little bit rushed, and a little bit wobbly duck.
Yep, it was a misread there. He had to get the ball away or take a sack. He didn't want to take the sack, but he had his man running the fly route.
And he had double coverage, throwing into double coverage. Managed to get it between the double coverage, just couldn't get it to drop into the basket. Pressure coming. He's going to go down.
Your safety.
Another safety.
And now Daytona Beach, Mainland takes the lead back.
1 point lead.
4-3. And we talked about it all night, Ron. That front 4 or 5 for Daytona is, they got fed good tonight.
Well, you can't say enough about a defensive game. And when you have a score of 4-3 and 2 safeties, I tell you, that's a testament to
And a kickoff classic. This is a kickoff classic, Ron. I mean, you can't ask for any better.
It's got a playoff atmosphere,
yes, it sure does. So Galley's going to have to free kick it back to Daytona Mainland, which now they lead 4-3, and Eau Gallie's defense comes back on the field. Barely got a rest there, but they've been going back and forth. Neither offense has really got that big drop. It's been the battle of the defenses. And Chris Sands and his coaching staff has got that defense dialed in. And, man, when we come back here November 1st, Melbourne's got to bring their A game if they're going to score on this defense.
Every team that sets foot on this stadium has got to be bringing their A game.
Oh, next week, it doesn't get light for Eau Gallie. They host next week Vero Beach here. Then they go to Rockledge, at Heritage, at Satellite. Then they host University. They go to Titusville. They host Merritt Island and Palm Bay. They go all the way up to Tallahassee, Lincoln, Ron. And then they come back for that big rivalry game against the Bulldogs. And there's the kick. Going to take it about the 25. Oh, Galley's there. Big wrap
turned
up.
into a rugby scrum.
I mean, you talk about a hard knock schedule. I mean, the Florida Gators got a hard knock schedule in college, but the Eau Gallie Commodores have a hard knock schedule here on the Space Coast.
Big year for the SEC, the addition of a couple of new teams.
Yeah, I don't know.
Going to change the dynamic of the.
There's no more divisions. I don't know. All new. You know, I gotta learn to adjust, I guess.
You gotta fall in love again.
Shotgun formation for Mainland, throws out to the back here. Comes up. Oh, miss wrap up there. Number 14, Eddie Lake Jr. on the reception.
Out!
And yes, Mr. Mark, I'm sure Coco has just as strong a schedule as Eau Gallie. I'm just looking at the Eau Gallie schedule here in my notes. And knocked down by Eau Gallie. I'd like to say hello to Mr. Carstens, the former athletic director from Coco.
Boy,
They're taking care of Satellite tonight, though.
You could hear the screams that it went backwards. It actually went forward by about 1.5 yards. But
yeah, not
boy,
much.
It was right down the line.
Much.
Let's go back and look at that replay. Got the advantage of the Facebook delay here from our live coverage.
And a little swing out pass. Missed the wrap up there.
Boy, got the wheels. Boy, one missed tackle, and they had to pay that.
Yeah, sorry, folks. We got some background in here. We got the coaches in the background.
Frustration's boiling over.
So first down for Daytona Mainland. Drops back to pass, slings it out, one-on-one. Great job there by the corner. Like Willie Lewis on the coverage there by Eau Gallie. So 2nd and 10 for Daytona. You know, you see Daytona get a little bit of yards, Eau Gallie gets a little bit of yards, and then the defense just comes alive once again.
Daryl, here we are with a 1-point game. It's got all the excitement of any playoff game right out of the box. Boy, we're seeing a real tight game here.
Drops back, going up top, caught. And Daytona's going to have another first down. Eau Gallie's got to get some more pressure on that quarterback.
I tell you, man, they are playing like there is like playoff implications. I mean, both these teams, I mean, they are quick back to the ball. And one thing I like about Eau Gallie, and particularly on defense here, is they're getting tired, but you're not seeing it.
Another swing pass out. Hits the blocker. Oh, stays on his feet and wrapped up there by number 6, looks like Davis. 21-3 final. Thank you, Coach Benson. 21-3 final. Heritage wins over the Rockledge Raiders. And the running back takes it, and Eau Gallie will.
I tell you what, man, it's not coming close to this blowout that we're broadcasting here.
No.
I tell you what, a 4-3 ball game. It has been back.
I've never.
You and I have made references of a title fight.
I've never had a 4-3 game. I mean, the Florida Little League World Series team just won 6-1. So I mean, this is a nail biter. I'm glad everything worked out. Sorry, folks, about the first half, but we're live and everything's rolling now. We'll be back and bigger next week. Nearly intercepted by the Commodores, and we have a late flag on the field.
Ball was tipped.
Like to thank Ashley Westbrook Realty, Rich's Auto Tech. I mean, we can see it on the camera. The ball was tipped. When the ball is tipped, there should not be a penalty. And they're going to give Daytona a fresh set of downs.
I tell you what, Daryl, that's tough to stomach. You know, last year we saw Coco rob, and I tell you, I hate to use the term rob, but that ball was clearly tipped.
Roll out to the far side. He's got pressure by Eau Gallie. And did he intercept it before he went out of bounds? Did he pick it? Waiting for the call. They're going to say he's out of bounds. Man, Eau Gallie almost had the pick that they needed. 2nd and goal, 8:33 to go here in the ball game. 4-3 Daytona leads here at Commodore Stadium. I'm sure we'll have next week's game here at Commodore Stadium on BSN as Vero Beach Indians travel up to take on your Commodores. So, folks, if you're a Commodore fan that wants this broadcasted, please reach out to somebody at BSN so we can get a crew here. Without our local support, we can't bring you these broadcasts, so we like to thank all of our sponsors on every broadcast that we have, because without their help, we could not come out here. We really do this, not for the money. We do it to bring you live, great football, but would like to promote you and help everybody out at the same cause. And folks, go and download the Space Coast Orbit app. The new best thing coming out with news and everything to get you up to date. Just another option of news. The Space Coast Orbit coming bigger and better this year. The Space Coast Orbit right here with BSN.
Big things are coming, Daryl. I went out to Vegas in April. Went to the National Broadcasters Convention out there, came back with a lot of ideas. Been working with a team out of Texas to build a brand new product, something never before seen here in Brevard County. We're going to kind of play our cards close to the chest until we can officially launch it. And we're 110%, but we are excited about bringing this new product to you. And our sports will be powered by BSN and Alan Slaughter-Zinski, who has done such a great job establishing himself as the go-to sports source.
Little fade route. And it's going to be a touchdown. Comes in, bounds in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Mainland.
So here's the kicker. Do you go for two to put it out of reach?
That's a good point, Ron. I mean, I would go for two here. I mean, you're not, you're going to be up 7 either way.
Well, if they get the extra point here, they're going to be up 7.
Yep.
And then
they're up 7 now. They'll be up 8.
They'll be up 8.
But if you did the 2 point, you'd be up 9 with the 2-score game. And the extra point is good. So 8-point ball game here. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into the broadcast. 11.
Now the scoreboard looks
11-3 ball game.
Not so fun. Yeah, it goes back to that very costly missed penalty call with that tip, and they get a fresh set of downs off of that, Daryl. That's tough to digest.
Yeah, and Coach Sands has got to shake it off. I know it's not the call that they wanted; it's the call that should have been made. But you got to just play on, because at the end of the day, this game doesn't count, and you got to get ready for a mean Vero Beach Indian squad that's going to come into your stadium next week. A 35-27 ball game up in Vieira.
All said and done, you don't want to put the team in a position where a call from a referee can affect. And there's the offsides.
Yeah, that's a kind of a weird, strange offsides there.
Kicker had like a stutter step. He stopped. Tell you, as the sun sets and the lights under the Some of these kids are wearing blank helmets. They got a Chicago Bears look from up here.
Yeah. 8:24 left in the ball game here. Daytona leads 11-3, one possession game here at the Commodore Stadium. Daytona set to kick off. And looked like they were offsides again on the kickoff. And it's going to go out of bounds. I mean, I seen them up here from up here in the press box. They were half a yard
like
offside.
Number 3 had taken that additional step. All right, so what Eau Gallie needs here is a touchdown with a 2-point conversion to make it a ball game.
Yeah, that offensive line, Ron, has to maintain their gaps. Have to maintain the inside gaps. Cannot let this 4-man front, 5-man with the blitz get to the quarterback, Allen. And Allen's going to throw a pick right there, and it's going to be Daytona's ball.
That was just that's a heads-up play from that Buccaneers on the other side. That was number 6, Dre Wood. With great position, turned his body, came back for the catch. A huge play.
Yeah, kind of a mistake there by Allen. He's going to learn from this. You know, a new...
I think they...
We have
a penalty on the play.
Is it a penalty on the defense? Because if it's on the defense, Eau Gallie still has the ball.
Eau Gallie still has the ball. Wow, that's unfortunate for the Buccaneers. That was a great play by Dre Wood.
Must have been up top. Couldn't see the flag down here.
It's going to be a...
So Gallie
going to move the sticks. A first down.
Fresh set of downs. So Gallie's going to look out there. First down and 10 on their own 30-yard line.
Unfortunate for the Mainland Buccaneers who wanted to kind of put it away, but boy, their pursuit,
they just cannot.
Boy, they just answer quick.
I mean, they're firing into the ball, as you know. Back in the day, coach firing into the ball, get all 11 hats to the ball. That defensive line is just taking, Eau Gallie's offensive line to the woodshed right now. They got to just go back to simple, basic inside gaps, outside gaps, double teams. But, I mean, you are playing the defending state champions in your classification. So second down and about 14. Allen hands off. Nope. Pulls it down, throws a slant, and they get about a 10-yard gain there.
Going to be about 8. Needed to get across the 40. Got to about the 36. Let's see where they spot this.
Man, we've played this game pretty good up till this fourth quarter with a lot of laundry coming on the field. Number 7 on the reception, Biggs, senior.
This is going to go against Eau Gallie.
But that's a flag for a mouthpiece?
The helmet? They pointed at the helmet.
I think they're going to get him for a mouthpiece violation.
No, that's targeting. I don't know about a couple of these calls in the fourth quarter, but we're not down on the field, so.
Hey, is he
that 10-yard gain is non and void for Eau Gallie.
Eau Gallie's going to have to recollect now with a second down and 20.
Man.
tackle for a
that
loss.
defensive line is just reading. I mean, they did their homework very well.
And their pursuit that Mainland has is, I mean, they're just closing the gaps, getting to the ball, helmet to helmet, pad to pad, squaring up. Good fundamental football.
Yeah, I mean, Eau Gallie's trying to come down and block them. They're only in a 3-man front. I mean, 3 big boys, I mean, are beating 5 of yours. I mean, we got to go back blocking on Monday. Another handoff.
Boy, that ground game just can't get the traction that Daytona was able to have with their Wildcat. They just kind of moved in chunks.
Correct, yeah.
And right now we're inside 6 minutes. We're actually down to about 5:40 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Eau Gallie's going to punt the ball back. As Xavier Larice goes back to punt the ball. See if he can get a good punt off for.
Boy, it's critical to get that.
And they don't have
clean snap.
They have nobody back for Mainland, so Mainland's bringing the house right now. They're going to try to put this game out of reach for Eau Gallie.
I tell you, Eau Gallie's had a couple of shanked kicks.
Man, there looked like offside. And it's going to get out of bounds at about right at midfield. I mean, we're up here in the press box, but that man, an edge player coming across, trying to block that punt.
It's shocking that with the amount of soccer talent, particularly here in the Eau Gallie area, that they can't find a punter.
Yeah.
And I'm not. This is no knock against Xavier. I mean, he's doing what he can, but a skilled punter that can really keep his focus and knows how to drop and doesn't do that soccer style, but still has the leg.
They have the kicker that transferred in from Merritt Island.
Extra points in punting, you know, that's different dynamic. But you've got to get that kid who can get that ball out in front of him and drop it on the toe.
Correct.
You know, the fundamental old school high leg punter
needs to be placed.
Xavier is such a talented young man.
To the broadcast, once again, I'd like to thank Ashley Westport Realty, Rich's Auto Tech, Natwick Insurance, powering this broadcast tonight. And we got a stack receivers up top and down below, and a handoff up the middle. Eau Gallie's holding strong. Short gain there for Daytona.
Yeah, we do want to thank our sponsors that make tonight's broadcast possible. Ashley Westbrook, thank you. And Natwick Insurance, Rich's Auto Tech, and of course Hooters for our pregame festivities. And Bayside Management, who has a little personal meaning for me, Darryl.
Yep, they do a fine job. Folks, you can find all of this sports coverage going to be up on the Space Coast Orbit. So if you missed anything and you can't find it on BSN, go to the Space Coast Orbit.
Coming soon.
Rolling out.
If you go looking for it now, you're going to find a bunch of dead pages and test pages. Don't look for it yet. Be on the lookout for it.
Yeah. Third and about 3, looks like.
.4:14 shows on the clock.
Vieira final 35-27. Nearly picked off by Eau Gallie. Going to bring up 4th down for the Buccaneers.
And with this situation, you're at 4:08 remaining in the fourth quarter. You've got an 8-point lead. It's 11-3. There's only one thing to do here, man. You go to that Wildcat and you go back to what worked for you.
And, win or loss, you know, if you're Eau Gallie at the end of the day, I mean, this is a win in my book. I mean, you're taking on the state defending champion in your classification. You just know what you have to get better at.
That's it. That's it. You know, it's just one of the best practice sessions you can have. And Mainland proving that.
And Mainland just got a little bit more left in the tank as they get that first down.
You know, initially Mainland did not strike me as a team that had that returning state level power, but late in the game they have proven with the fortitude that they can plug this out. That's being said, and they're playing a very good Eau Gallie team. You're seeing two very good football teams.
Yeah,
so it's hard to gauge.
Correct.
Who's going to break out?
You know, Gallie's coming in with a lot of expectations this year. You know, being district champions last year, they're probably going to, you know, return district champions in my eyes this year in the same district. I think it's theirs to lose. A little fade route, throws it away.
You know, one of the things it does is it does expose your vulnerabilities, which helps you build that blueprint, what you got to focus on.
Correct. I mean,
this is the first real game they've played in.
Next week, they have the Vero Beach Indians coming here, you know, to Eau Gallie Commodore Stadium. So, I mean, they have another big task. I mean, that's a heck of a football program coming in from Indian River County. Run up the middle by Daytona. Close to a first down for the Buccaneers. Timeout, Eau Gallie. MCC looks like they're going to get the victory over Lake Brantley. Vieira beats Palm Bay. Heritage takes care of Rockledge. And Cocoa took care of Satellite. Melbourne,
that's tough to watch.
Melbourne, we do not have a score for. If somebody knows the Melbourne score, last we knew they were up 7-3 against Fort Pierce Central. Next week, we will be live at Tom McIntyre Stadium for the kickoff of the 100th season of Bulldog Pride. They take on the Toho High School football team.
And at some point between now and the end of the game, I'm going to have you say it.
No.
Tahopakaliga.
Third and about 3 for Mainland.
You know, last time we had Toho at Melbourne, you and I sat through a rainy game.
Yes.
Got sloppy.
The
sun came out, dried up.
Yes.
And then it got blistering hot.
And Daytona's going to get a first down. Keep the clock moving. 3 minutes remaining, 11-3. Buccaneers lead. I just thank everybody for tuning into the broadcast tonight. We got a late whistle.
Delay a game.
Delay a game. Going to back up Daytona. Mainland's going to be backed up. Double sticks here. Thank you, Chris Kelly. Hopefully we can have another plumbing company sponsor another game here on Brevard Sports Network. run up the middle.
And they're looking to just move the clock now down inside 2:20 remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, we had viewers all the way down in St. Thomas, Puerto Rico tonight. I'd like to thank Grand Electric, first responders for the hurricanes, for tuning in tonight. Read Mark McKinney's name, former Eau Gallie alumni.
Shout out to Cyril Hopping, one of the great baseball coaches here in the area, Mel High. Class of 86, Bulldog.
Ball on the ground. And Mainland's going to wrap up on it. 1:39 remaining in this contest. Hunter Turner tuning in. Hunter, do you know the Mel High score by any chance?
Got a battle of the bands going, full blast, both sides of the stadium.
I'm sure you
Back
can
and
hear it
forth.
on the broadcast. It is loud here at Commodore Stadium. I mean, what we talked about on the field, Eau Gallie, didn't have that many penalties tonight in my eyes. They came out, they made a statement on defense. Their offense has to get better for next week as they take on the Indians of Vero Beach. Their defense, 10 of 11 returning starters out there tonight. Led by, Davis, Small, Barry, and Davis. They combined for a lot of the tackles last year. Xavier Larice took away a lot of the balls on interceptions. Handoff up the middle and be wrapped up by Brandon Brown in that defensive line of Eau Gallie.
Clock continues to run. They're going to let it run down.
But, Eau Gallie's got a gauntlet of a year, Ron.
They do. We're coming down to about the 1:10 mark.
I mean, this is a schedule real quick. Vero Beach, Rockledge, Heritage, Satellite, University, Titusville, Merritt Island, Palm Bay. They go to Lincoln and back here November 1st for the annual Crossroads Championship rivalry game against the Melbourne Bulldogs.
And a timeout called by Mainland. That's good clock management right there, bringing it down inside 1 minute and 56 seconds remaining in today's ball game. An 11-3 Daytona Mainland advantage. And I tell you, Darryl, this was a slugfest. And with just the one offensive score from Mainland coming, Eau Gallie's defense played stout.
They sure did.
Mainland's defense played extremely well. And, you have two teams, like we said, we've used that prize fight analogy.
I
a slugfest.
I really hope we're looking at a rematch of the state championship game this year. If Eau Gallie can maintain healthy, Mainland, if they maintain healthy, these are two big and mean machine ball clubs that could fight over the state championship this year. That drops back to pass, trying to get in the air. Flag in the backfield, and he slips up. It's probably going to be Eau Gallie ball as they're going to get a holding call. Yep, I sure did. I said state. I think Eau Gallie and Daytona Beach Mainland can get there, and I think it'd be a heck of a matchup if they get
I definitely think you're seeing two of the top programs
in the state play tonight.
In this,
I mean, you're talking. It was a 3-2 ball game, a 2-0 ball game. Then we went 4-3, and then one score fadeaway.
And watching the dynamic of play, and you're watching the capabilities and the talent level of both these teams, you know, a real analysis would tell you these are two very good football programs, and the potential for both of them is there to go deep into the playoffs. And
Josh back, rolling out and just throwing it away, and that might be a intentional. I mean, he was out of the pocket. He did have a receiver he was trying to throw to. They're not going to call it there. 41 seconds remaining in this contest. Eau Gallie down one score.
you know, they'll collect. They'll all get back together. They'll go to school on Monday. They'll have practice.
And Eau Gallie is going to be sacked in the backfield.
And Eau Gallie looks like they're content to just have this clock run out. No sense of urgency on the final plays. Third down, 3rd and 15.
Airs it out. An incomplete pass. 8 seconds left in this ball game. And they are right. It's 5A and 3A. They changed the brackets on me. But last year they were both in the same classification.
Oh, it's hard to keep up the way they move these school. You know, one of the most confusing things when we went from the metro to the suburban schools,
and then they got away from that, and that's
the
where
M's,
I'm
the
getting
S's,
confused.
and you know it's difficult. But one thing, you know, we talked about the, you know, being homers here in Brevard County. You know, the road for Cocoa just, I mean,
correct.
They don't go through those powerhouse schools that come out of
Gallie
Miami
drops
Metros
back,
anymore.
going to be sacked.
And that'll bring an end to tonight's.
That will be the last play of the game.
And yeah, it's all speculative at this point, but I think we saw two fantastic teams, teams that are definitely still going to shoot for the playoffs.
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
get better.
And both that have that real potential. And I think anybody objectively who looked at this game will tell you that Mainland, they've got their set of issues that they got to work on. Eau Gallie's got their set of issues. Although Mainland came out victorious tonight, the vulnerability with that, the Wildcat.
You look at it. This was a 1-point ball game for 3 quarters. A 1-point ball game. What we call should have been a different call. You know, we're up here in the booth. We're not down on the field. We only can tell you what we seen up here. But
Bayside score coming in 23-7.
Yeah, Bayside wins. And Eau Gallie played a phenomenal game on defensively. Offensively, they have some things to get better on. But I think they're going to be a thing to reckon with here on the Space Coast and Mainland. If they stay healthy, they'll be back in a state championship game once again. But next week, Eau Gallie has the Vero Beach Indians here at the Commodore Stadium. Ron, I mean, what else can you take away from this game tonight?
I like what I saw. I know Eau Gallie is going to be a very, very tough team. I like their depth. I know they've got to go back. They've got to, make some adjustments in the playbook. I'm not going to speak for Mainland. They're going to go in and adjust. I will tell you this. Mainland is going to be a formidable foe for a lot of teams. I don't think the low score in this game is indicative of how well these defenses play.
These are probably 2 of the best defenses in the state we've seen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Mainland with 4 points on the scoreboard defensively. And no shame in the game for Eau Gallie either. They came up a little short, couldn't get into the end zone. But I really liked the way they played. I liked the play calling. I did like the tempo of which they played, and I liked the discipline that they played with. We will not be doing a lot of Eau Gallie games, But I will tell you this, Eau Gallie is going to be a very, very scary opponent on anybody's schedule.
And, and that's a good point that someone just brings up. Mainland comes back. I don't know if they come back to Brevard County, but they play Cocoa this year. So that's going to be a great game.
Cocoa plays at a different level. I mean, Cocoa is just, you don't realize it. And last year, I only covered covered a lot of games, and I only had one chance to see Cocoa. And the noticeable difference in the speed, the play exchanges, the communication, the coaching. I mean, Cocoa plays at a completely different level, and you don't realize that until you physically see them. The on-field communication, the on-field field management, the sideline management, it's just a different mentality. It's a different game to watch when you watch Cocoa. They are one of those magical teams, and I encourage everybody, if you want to see some great high school football, I don't care where you went to high school, you got to see and experience live Cocoa football. It is something phenomenal right now at this particular time.
Yeah, I agree with you. Folks, once again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors, Ashley Westport Realty, Rich's Auto Tech, Natwick Insurance, Hooters for always taking care of us. We got some things happening over there for the Eau Gallie Melbourne rivalry game. It's going to be Eau Gallie on the north end of the store, Melbourne on the south end. So Kat McFarland and their crew is doing a great job over there, so give her props. And, Bayside management there, they do a fantastic job.
Thank them for paying my bills.
Yeah. So, Eau Gallie, tough test next week against Vero Beach coming into their own field here at Commodore Stadium. We will be live at Tom McIntyre Stadium for the battle between Kapalika. See, I can't do it.
Tahapakaliga.
Tahapakaliga. There we go.
I want to thank everybody who watched both halves of football, switched over with us, came over with us from the first half, allowed us to make those internet adjustments that we were kind of plagued with in the first half. We overcame them. But I hopefully everybody enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and I am super excited about what's coming this year.
Yeah, a lot of great things coming here at BSN. Teamed in with Varsity Sports. They have a great production team over there. And, I mean, what you've seen on a couple of our other channels tonight is just pure greatness coming here to the Space Coast in sports. So tonight we're going to sign off here at Commodore Stadium. We'll be live at Tom McIntyre Stadium next Friday night, pregame at Hooters before. So if you're a Bulldog, get over to Hooters before the game and after the game for all your pregame and postgame festivities. For Ron Lighthall, I am Double D Daryl Duran signing off here at Commodore Stadium. Stay safe and God bless you.